I sit here less than 1 week before I begin medical school, and right now my mindset into how I'm going to take on the learning and the remembering of all this information is, simply put, through questions. Think about it. Questions are what we come up with ourselves to make sure that we understand ourselves, let alone the information that surrounds us at all times. Questions are what will be asked on examinations and the U.S. medical licensing exam that ultimately gives us what we need to actually practice medicine. Questions are what patients will be coming to us with, what our friends and family will come up and present us with, asking for help. It is questions that really revolve around the practice of medicine. And so, should we not use questions for the learning of medicine? Well, of course we're going to. So how do we best use it, given the technology that's now around? Well, I recently read this research paper that compared and contrasted students that used traditional learning materials, like textbooks and what have you, compared to those that used ChatGPT. And lo and behold, those that used ChatGPT ultimately enjoyed their experience, performed better, and were more likely to use it again. But how do we use ChatGPT? Well, we ask it questions. And not only that, we have it tell us the right questions to be asking. And then we answer those questions. And not only questions, but it is truly based on our ability to verbalize the answers that I think is going to be most meaningful. Because at the end of the day, going back to this idea of doing the actual role of being a doctor, we'll have real patients coming to us asking their questions, and we'll have to describe our answers to them. Not only type them down on the computer or write them down on paper, but actually explain why we're doing what we're doing or why we're suggesting what the recommendation is, etc., to the patient. We have to use our words. And think about it. Have you ever just listened to a video, you thought it was a nice, interesting idea, and then someone brought it up in a conversation and you wanted to bring it up, but you realized as soon as it turned from taking that idea and bringing it into this world with words, it all of a sudden became abundantly clear that you have no idea what you're really talking about, or you didn't really grasp that idea as well as you thought you did. And that is not what we want to have as a feeling on examinations or during test days. We want to prepare ourselves by not only knowing that we have it solidified in our minds, but proving that using our voice. And so how do we do that? Well, again, there's automations for it. There's technology to here that is helpful in facilitating our ability to solidify this information in our minds by actually quantifying our ability to recall it verbally. That's just one piece of the puzzle. So on Sundays, let's assume that we get the syllabus or the lectures for the week, and we can approach them one at a time. Now, right now, can I say exactly what I'm going to do with those, whether it be first trying to consolidate it all into a PDF and have ChatGPT give me a high-level overview of a summary, or even give me questions that I should be able to answer by the time I thoroughly review or listen to the lecture on that specific topic? Who knows? Will I wait until the end of a topic's unit and then have a full comprehensive PDF that I share with ChatGPT and have questions be given to me so I can pretty much create mock examinations using first and second level or order questions? Who knows? But the fact of the matter is that keeping an open mind and being able to, on the spot, as present as possible, be able to adapt to different strategies. That is what I believe is going to be key. Because, of course, I'm not going to adhere to the same study protocols and strategies that I did throughout MCAT studying or undergraduate degrees and all of that. Because the life of this world has changed. What's available to us has changed, and we as individuals have changed. Ultimately, I am motivated to be able to figure out a way that works best for me. Because what works best for me is ultimately going to work best for my patients in the future, and potentially you all that are listening to this. So through this general framework of using questions and speaking, which at the end of the day, those are the same thing. They are two sides of a coin. Questions are just coming our way and speaking the answers outwardly. That's all we gotta do, is just get that cycle going over and over, and then just add topics to it add topics that can mold with each other and ultimately get bigger and wider, and soon we'll have a massive cycle of all this information so that when new information comes in, it can wiggle in and find its space and spot, and the cycle can just continue.